Yo, Mana Squad, if you like any of the cards you see in today's video, make sure to hit up the affiliate link down below to TCG Player. You can help look up some of your local game stores in the process and help show the channel some love. And you know you got to look good while you play in order to play good. So make sure you hit up our link to Into the AM as well. We have the discount code down in the description below. Look, you got to listen to Kenneth the Heathen. He always says something about dripping in space and screaming. We don't know what it means, but do what the man says. And last but not least, hit up Heavy Play. Heavy Play is going to have some of the nicest playmats and deck boxes out there. Their magnet system between their deck box and dice trays and playmat is amazing, especially if you're playing at like bars, restaurants, stuff like that. You got to get up and move. There is no better way to keep all your stuff together, and you can show the channel some love in the process. Stay petty.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Command Center, where we like to put our favorite commander, maybe even yours, front and center. And you know we can't do it unless we play those three degenerate letters, EDH. What does it stand for today, Hidoken?
That's right. It stands for Extra Diaper Heavy. That's right. It's 'tis the season. We gonna be eating a lot of stuff we ain't supposed to. And you know we gonna be having full doo-doos out here. That's right. These doo-doos is going to be heavy and thick out here. We're going to be eating lots of fats and solids and extra grease. So I want you to get it ready. And with Mariah Carey busting out of her tomb to ruin another holiday season, you know we needs to get ready for what's coming. So get your Depends, get your Huggies, and get ready. Because, you know, sometimes when you shovel in that food, you don't want to get up and have to change your clothes.
You just took me on a journey that I was not ready for, in that the EDH caught me off guard. There was a Mariah Carey reference. There was no reference to Eldritch Horror this time, which that was a roller coaster that I was not mentally prepared for, but I'm happy I took that ride. Sid, you want to tell everybody what we're talking about today?
Yeah, definitely. So to put us back on track, we are we are going to get into our gambling bag. We're gonna play some bets. We're gonna what draft? Is that what people do nowadays? Yeah,
we're drafting. Shout out to DraftKings. Shout out to the Dan Le Batard Show, DraftKings Network. Let's do it. Bring us on, because we're here to sports ball.
Yeah, shout out to the crack in my window where I'm feeling that draft. I need them to come fix that at sometime soon, because my electric bill gonna be extra high.
Shout out to Backdraft, underrated fire movie. Anyway, so we are talking about we're going to draft certain type of characteristic, and I think we had this one in the bag for a little bit. We're trying to figure out what to do with it, so we're going to talk about commanders that we feel like have the most egregious Black Air Force energy. And honestly, I don't even know if I want to define what that even means, unless you guys do. Do you feel like we need to define that?
So I did want to find some definitions. I did want to give a shout out. Definitely complete, because we had this idea for a while, so definitely stole this format idea. Command Zone does these drafts that they basically do like a sports draft for the best cards of different categories and go into like some very deep analysis, like the Command Zone does about why cards are great. Stole that format and wanted to do our complete pettiest take on it, because honestly, shout out to them. Shocker, they come up with really great ideas, but this seems like the most fun way to yell about categories of cards we haven't been able to. And this specific category, like you said, we've been talking about it for at least a few weeks now as an idea.
Wait, we didn't get it from them. We got it from the movie Fast and Furious Tokyo Draft. That's where we got it from.
I was ready for Moneyball. I don't know why I was expecting you to go serious with that, but I was like, this is the time he's going to go very serious and talk about Moneyball. Or what was that awful Browns draft movie that was like Draft Day? It's like, oh, the NFL draft. Let's make everybody look epic and not incompetent, like they actually know what they're doing.
Okay, first of all, the best draft anything came from a show called The League, okay? It was a show about fantasy football. I'm not even a huge fantasy football dude, but I love that show, okay?
I've heard of that, and I've been told I need to watch it. But anyway, we'll get on track. So Black Air Force energy, we don't need to go too far into a definition, but to give some sort of criteria for people watching if they haven't heard that phrase before, it's essentially, I feel like in my head, it is, I want to be a menace. I choose violence, no repercussions, no strategy. Like, I wake up every day, choose violence, no thought about anything else. And so in terms of Magic,
just to add on to that, is basically also, I have no more F's to give. Like,
yes,
you caught me at my lowest, and you should call the police or the ambulance, not for me, but for you.
100%. It is, in Magic terms, I feel like it's the person who's been targeted 4 games in a row and then pulls out their like most brutal deck, in that everyone will burn with me. I have no regard for anyone else. Like you said, no F's to give. And in terms of Magic, I'm excited to hear about the cards we draft and the reason why we think that these commanders, because we're going to talk about commanders that give off this energy, why we think they fit it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a snake draft, which if anybody plays fantasy football, probably the best way to do it. We did a randomized draft order before, so whoever gets the first pick, we go second pick, third pick. Whoever gets the third pick then gets the first pick in the next round, and it snakes back and forth. So it'll make sense as we go. The Lords of Chaos somehow picked Ced to go first. So Ced, no pressure, but you have the number 1 overall pick in the Black Air Force Energy Commander Draft. Don't screw this up.
Gotcha. So this was a deck that I built a long time ago, and I need to probably put this back together because this does so much of what I do nowadays that I should probably just give it another look. And I'm going to talk about Saskia the Unyielding.
And we got to do the little like draft noise that ESPN plays for the little pick, and then the little dupes come in, and then somebody walks on stage.
Sure.
I'll do it in post.
Yeah.
Get back to Saskia.
Got to up the budget for that. So yeah, this is going to be Saskia the Unyielding. This is the 4-color, black, red, green, and white, everything but blue. She literally hits the battlefield, points out a player, and says, "I'm coming for you, and I have vigilance, I have haste, and whenever a creature that I control deals combat damage to a player, it also deals that much damage to you too. So I can hit you. I can hit him over there, and I hit him so hard that I hit you."
It's literally the Rush Hour Chris Tucker thing. Which one of y'all hit me? It's that Hulk Hogan energy, because you know it's him when you get that point. You know what time it is.
So interesting enough, and I am curious as we go through these. I did not have Saskia on my list. So the first overall pick, Ken, did you have Saskia on your list?
Nah.
Wow. So first overall pick, going out on a limb with it. I do agree though, because there is no more I wake up and choose violence aspect than immediately having to pick an opponent. Because it's not like you don't get to wait, you don't get to hide anything. It straight up enters the battlefield. I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna smack you to get to them. I like it.
I want you, Marsh. I want you.
I think it's the fact that I can smack somebody else, and I hit them so hard that I also hit you. That's how bad I want you.
Like I hit you so hard, your life points feel it.
That is a solid number 1 overall pick. All right, Ken, you have the number 2 overall pick in the Black Air Force draft. Don't fuck it up. Mess it up. I'll bleep it maybe. We'll find out. We're past 30 seconds of the video. YouTube won't demonetize it. Ken, what you got?
We of the Petty Committee, for our first draft pick, would like to recruit Vial Smasher the Fierce to come to our team, because Vial Smasher is the most unrandom commander I've ever seen in my life. When it finds a target, it just holds on to their ass like stink on shit. Like it just refuses. Like I've never seen somebody get cold rolled and hit directly with Vial Smasher. And you know the funny part? I've even tested this out. I've even switched up the numbers to people. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you different numbers, and it still rolls on them. That is the final destination commander I've ever seen in my life, because you gonna feel this work.
Yo, to add even more evidence to that, one of our like OG playgroup members back in the day, Jason, for whatever reason, I had a Vial Smasher deck that hit him in the face every time. Literally every time. So one time he didn't come to Commander Night. We had a 3-player pod going, and I made an imaginary person sit at the table and named. I was like, "This is Jason. If I roll these numbers, it hits him." Vial Smasher did like 40 damage to fake Jason and hit nobody else. And I was like, "Oh, the petty is real. Vial Smasher wants your life, no matter if you're here or not. He is or she is coming for you and your soul." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So it's real. Vial Smasher does have a vendetta.
Vial Smasher is the voodoo doll of Magic, because it's. Hey, by the way, I haven't seen Jason in a minute, but we got to talk about him later. All right, but keep going.
Shout out to Jason if you are watching. All right, so we got Saskia, the number 1 overall pick in the first round. At number 2, we got Vial Smasher. Weirdly enough, neither of those were on my list. So I get to get my first overall pick with the 3rd pick. And so with the 3rd pick in the what's the abbreviation for this Black Air Force is going to be the BAF draft, because I like, instead of having the BAF draft, I got Tergrid. And Tergrid to me, because one of the most important things to me for this energy we're looking for is there's no strategy involved. Like someone with really heavy Black Air Force energy chooses violence, and it's not like a sneaky, I'm going to scheme. It's no, you're going to get smacked and you're going to see me walking at you to smack you. And I think Tergrid to me just embodies that the best, because there's no way to build Tergrid and have it be a fun experience. Like, you know, you are choosing violence and there is no way to disguise it. And everyone at the table, you are just basically running face first into a brick wall, and that brick wall is somebody's, like, the back of somebody's hand. And it's just, yeah, sorry.
One we should call it the Bat Draft Black Air Force Trials, because you're going to get smacked with it. That's what we need.
The Bat Draft, I like. Okay.
All right. So, Derek, you're the first one to hit the daily double. Tergrid. I was also keeping a secret list, keeping a secret track, because I had a theory. What are some of our Black Air Force energy commanders also appear on the salt score list? So Tergrid is 2.72 on a salt score list. There are 60,000 Tergrid decks out there.
Yeah, and if anybody out there has been blessed by not playing against Tergrid, basically every time anybody sacks something, the Tergrid player gets it. So if you're on audio only right now and you don't know what Tergrid is, just you have a charmed existence. Enjoy your life of being Tergridless. But if you know it, you know it. And yeah, it's just, you crack a fetch land, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, not just sacrifice, also discard.
Oh, I forget that. Oh my gosh.
I love playing against Tergrid decks because I keep stuff in my hand like a leveler. Yeah. You can have that. You can have that all day. Yeah, keep that. Oh, you want to have this curse that you want to have this this enchantment that says you lose if you don't get rid of it? Go for it. Yeah, you can have all that. Give me all that work. Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to mainboard against Tergrid. I have not been able to, and anytime you see one, you're getting backhanded and you got to watch it coming towards you. All right, so we're gonna move on to the second round here. So we got our squads are coming up at the end of this too. Anybody listening in the comments, we want to let you need to let us know whose team of 4 embodies that Black Air Force energy the best, whose team is number 1. So I get to go again because I'm cheating, and that's how snake drafts work. So at the number 4 overall pick, I get my first and second choice here, so I'm excited, and it's Voja. Because again, there is no strategy. There is no thought when you're playing Voja. It is, I'm going to play a bunch of elves and wolves, and just everyone is getting backhanded directly in the face. There's nothing like, it is almost, again, it is running face first into a brick wall because you see it coming. You're not surprised about it, but there's nothing you can do. And it's just, you're going to get hit by it. And if a table is lucky and someone draws a board wipe, that might happen. But whoever that Voja player decides to go to is just going to get, like, if you've seen there's some sort of, I think it was a Key and Peele skit where someone got backhanded so hard they fell out of their shoes. I'm pretty sure it's a Key and Peele skit. That is Voja 100%. Because if you happen to be the person that's taunting the Voja player, yeah, you are getting smacked out of your own shoes and there is no coming back from it. Sorry, Ken.
I think that was actually a Everybody Hates Chris skit.
It could, whatever it was from, it is perfect for Voja. And it's just like, again, no thought, no strategy, just violence. And to me, obviously I have a whole bunch of other stuff on my list. My first 2 were head and shoulders above the rest of the ones I picked because I couldn't think of anything else that embodied that better.
So I had a feeling someone was gonna pick Voja. I think I definitely understand that Voja is a boogie monster within the community. I don't know if it's exactly Black Air Force energy, although like it's definitely like if it comes around a corner, you should be afraid. Like, definitely. But like in my mind, I feel like Black Air Force energy also embodies like a little bit of mystery, like a little bit of like I might pop off, or you never know when I'm gonna pop off.
I see what there is that force of like, are they going to snap? Is it like you see them walking by, and it could be, again, we talked about this beforehand, but it reminds me of Omar from The Wire.
Okay.
The dude who walks around with the shotgun and whistles. Like, he's the sweetest dude to some people, but at the same time, if you catch him at the wrong moment, he's literally the scariest person ever. So I get that. 100%. I hear that. Yeah.
But I don't think there's one strict definition to this, because my next pick is going to completely overshadow what I just said. But I think it's Ken's turn.
As someone who spent entirely too much time trying to Google like a solidified definition of this, I promise you there is no real definition of this. There are about 75 different versions, and everybody's very convinced that theirs is the best. But yeah, we're going back to Ken now. So we're at the number 5 overall pick in the second round for Ken's second pick. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I tried to Google it, and then the message came up, step outside. I was like, nope. So, all right. My number 2 pick is going to be a curveball, but I got to go with it. It is Leonardo DiCaprio. Sorry, Leonardo da Vinci. I apologize.
I had to stop because I was like, wait, did they actually print a Leonardo DiCaprio card? It's entirely possible. All right, Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, 18 and younger. But Leonardo da Vinci, first I chose him because Derek got the joke.
What I will say is, so of all these commanders we've picked so far, they're kind of like staples in the format. Everybody's basically seen a Tergrid, a Voja. What is Leonardo DiCaprio? What does Leonardo da Vinci do for any of us who haven't seen him yet? Because I think it was from Assassin's Creed, right? It's relatively new. It's not as popular yet.
Well, one, he's a sex pervert because he just been sitting there drawing titties on a board all day. That's what he's famous for. But outside of that, his whole thing is Thopters. All right, you can pay 5 mana, 2 blue, 3 colorless until the end of turn. Thopters you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your hand. You can pay 2 in a blue and tap and draw a card and then discard a card. And if the card you discarded was an artifact card, exile it from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's an O2 Thopter artifact creature with flying in addition to other types. I have seen The Matrix. I have gone to the edge and back. I have had the pizza with the bologna in the crust. I would not recommend it. Hot going in, hot coming out. Anyway, this commander is a goddamn menace. It is so horrible that J. Jonah Jameson said, you know what, forget Spider-Man. This is the new threat to New York City. A dude in, what do you call those hats? Yeah, those things and a cape walking around with the French people wear when they being rude and poo-pooing on people.
Oh, like the weird
the beret thing. Yeah. You know, fancy toilet paper. And he's just walking around there in his cape, being a menace, drawing titties on the board and calling it masterpieces. But yeah, a whole menace shut us down on turn 4. It was a travesty. Sleeper pick.
Shout out to George for that one. Yeah, George was the one who played that deck. I think it was like right when that card got previewed and we got pub stomped by it.
This sounds like another version of like maybe Urza.
It's a bit worse.
It is mono blue, so it's just you get to cheat out like these 9-10 mana artifacts as Thopters with these like busted effects. And because of the fact that on the commander you have the looting engine, which makes it so scary, because I think typically with decks like this that do weird graveyard stuff, we were just talking about my Cedrus deck is a graveyard deck. The hardest part is drawing the right part so you have the looting effects, you have the discard outlets to make these things pop off. You don't have to worry about that with Leo, because Leo literally has it built in. So if your deck is just all big, scary shit, you're always going to have something in a discard, play something busted way before you should, and be able to do it every turn. And oh, by the way, they're Thopters, so I can pay mana to pump them and punch you with it too. So it's literally like, hey, here's this like terrifying, like spiky brick wall that I'm going to make you climb over. Oh, JK, I'm going to pick it up and bonk you with it after you try to climb over it and everything's bleeding. Like he's a whole problem. That's a good pick. That's not one I did not have that on my list either.
Yeah, it knocks you out. It knocks you out with your own artifacts and then defecates on your body.
I don't know if y'all seen. It gives the energy of if anybody out there seen the Terrifier movies and knows the bedroom scene, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where he basically like cuts up this lady and then pours salt all over her. while she's still alive, and then after he finishes pouring salt, dumps bleach on her head. That's what Leo does.
What the hell you be watching? What the hell you be watching? Like, hold up. I'll name mainstream movies like Deadpool. He's like, oh no, I haven't seen that. But then you watch, Chronicles Butt Crack, where a ghost gets dragged through a fucking outlet, and you say, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen this obscure piece of trash.
Terrifier. It was Terrifier 2. Art the Clown. Nobody has seen. It's a good. Good. No, it's not a good movie, but I enjoyed it. It was a good time. The Clown Cafe. We'll throw this over the number 6 overall pick. Number 3 pick in the second round. Let's get it back over to Seth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. All right. Mine is a oldie but a goodie. This one has so much Black Air Force energy, I'm afraid to play it myself. This is coming from the land of Kamigawa. This is Horobi, Death's Wail, for 2 and 2 black. It's a flying spirit for 4/4. Whenever a creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, destroy that creature. Basically, anytime anything gets targeted by anything, it gets destroyed.
And you can do that with lands
even
now.
Itself.
You can do that with lands now.
You can do it with so much. Basically, it makes equipment useless. If you try to put equipment on your creature dies.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like to pilot this deck, the pilot itself also needs that same Black Air Force energy, because when someone does accidentally equip their thing and kill their creature, you have no sympathy. There's no takes backs. It's like, no, you did that, you earned it, and it's just no questions asked. Like, it's very much oh my gosh, you equip things, you try to protect your stuff, you do any sort of pump spells. So many commanders just target inadvertently from their effects.
Yeah, I've seen this deck like back in its heyday, and this before all the craziness that we have now, where you can target people out the wazoo. This is basically committing a crime before committing a crime. Almost. This is the original sin.
But my favorite part is when that person does forget, and then like they accidentally target their commander. He's like, "Hey, can I take that back?" He's like, "No, you can eat my balls because you've been a whole plague this entire game, and now because you decided to crap out, no, eat like take a fork and eat my nuts. Like, get out of here."
I need to put that on a shirt. Take a fork and eat my nuts. Need that on a t-shirt tomorrow. Okay. That is number.
I think I might build this deck.
You need to get it altered so it's wearing that t-shirt. So it's I think you said Horobi. I forgot what the name of the card was, but it's that whatever the creature is in that card with a little t-shirt that says "Take a fork and eat my nuts" as the card. I think that was. I'll pay for the altar at this point. I'll find. Shout out to whatever altars we'll find that will agree to do that.
Is it Cartman?
Completely just eat my balls like all day, like sauceless.
That is gonna wrap up the second round of the draft. So far we've all picked 2 commanders. Our teams are shaping up. A quick recap so far: I have Tergrid and Voja heading up my team. Said you got Saskia and Horobi.
Yep.
Leading up your team. And then Ken,
I got Vial Smasher and the Pervert.
It's a great helpful description. Leo, why did I know what you were talking about? It's okay.
I thought he was talking about Predator Captain.
Oh gosh, Gravy, man. This was Gravy. Oh wow. It's not on my list, but also Grevin. Very strong. Oh my, that should almost be number 1. Like, I feel like Grevin is like the strongest Black Air Force energy. I'm changing one of my picks. He is. Even the face on him, like he looks like somebody that will wear Black Air Forces, like while he's on the bow of that ship. Okay, we're going to the third round here. To start round 3 up, said you got the first pick in the third round too.
All right, so my next pick. This is hard. How many rounds of this do we get?
We're going at least 4. We're shooting
gotcha.
for 4, but if we might do an honor, I think we'll do 4, and then at the end we each get like a honorable mention to round out the squad.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one out here. This one, also a oldie but a goodie. Might not be on y'all radar, but I think you'll know where I'm coming from. My next pick coming to the stage, we proudly and sincerely draft Edgar Markov, not the Planeswalker.
Yeah, we know you're talking about Edgar Jackoff, the only commander that costs 125 because he's not even a penis, he's a pee hole. And I own that deck.
Yes, we're talking about Edgar Markov 3 and I'm blanking on
Mardu.
Yeah, 3 and Mardu. The Eminence,
Yeah,
Edgar.
Three and Mardu, Eminence, Edgar Markov. That basically says that I don't even have to be on the field, but anytime my homeboy come out, another homeboy comes out.
Literally let the bodies hit the floor. That's why they call him Edgar Jackoff, because all he does is be pumping stuff out.
Ken, I remember when we first started discussing this, you mentioned Marlo Stanfield as the strongest Black Air Force energy, and not dude I literally just mentioned and completely blanked on. I feel like this is more Omar. Sorry, brain's not working. But I feel like Marlo is more Edgar Markov, where he's like
Marlo.
You see Edgar Marlo, very much that's the energy I'm getting from that, because there's always people coming every time.
No. Marlo is Emrakul, because he gonna take your turn and your cookies. that is exactly how he rolls.
Are these also potential Black Air Force energy? Like, we just throwing some other names out there.
This is so if anybody else is doing a draft at home, we're giving you the extra goods. This is like the NFL pre-draft fantasy headquarters. We're giving you all the knowledge you never knew you needed. But yeah, so Edgar, we'll let you finish saying, because Edgar is very much one too that you're gonna get smacked and there's no like indecision about it.
I do want to alter Edgar though, but instead of Edgar Markov, I want Edgar from the original Men in Black.
You talking about the roach dude?
The roach dude
that drinks the sugar water.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to drink sugar water because of that. Because he made it look so appetizing. Because he just poured a whole bunch of sugar and water and chugged that shit. And I was like...
He drank Kool-Aid. That's all he did. He just drank Kool-Aid. What are we talking about here?
Diabetes. That was a straight diabetes.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley was rolling around in his tomb missing a foot.
Oh my God. I never thought of it like that. I guess that it's just strictly just basically Kool-Aid.
He
but
just drank Kool-Aid.
But like unflavored.
Unscented Kool-Aid. That's all it was.
Unseasoned Kool-Aid. Perfect for the roach man. Oh gosh. Okay. So we got Eddie Marks at number this is your third pick in the third round for you. Now we're getting back over to Ken for your first pick in the third round. Your number 3 overall pick. Who are you going with?
Okay, my pick is going to be this is going to be a fun one, because I hate this card. As a matter of fact, sometimes I don't even want to play it. But it's going to be Hidan and Kakuzu. And I know y'all don't know what that means.
I was just about to say, you got to give me you got to read the card for me, because I don't know what this one is.
It's Hidetsugu and Kairi.
Oh, okay, that's exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said. I hate this card with a passion. As a matter of fact, there's very few commanders that I refuse to play because it just makes your butthole pucker, and this is one of them.
What does it do?
When it enters the battlefield, you brainstorm. You draw 3 cards. You put 2 at the top. So pretty much you get to set your deck. When it dies, you exile the top card, and target opponent loses life equal to the value. And if it's an instant or sorcery, you get to cast it without paying its mana cost.
Our friend Danny, who we've been on his stream a bunch lately, played this and still has the deck. It destroys everything you've ever hoped for in life. And
the friend is a loose turf. It's number 3 on my hit list. Him and whoever got rid of the McDouble.
I think the kicker to what makes this card work the way it does with Black Air Force energy is that it kills itself to work. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. It hurts itself to hurt you. Like that's some next level debauchery. That's like ripping off your arm to beat somebody so you can have a weapon to beat somebody to death with. I respect it, but it's a little much.
I can't disagree. Having died to that one regularly, I think it does. And you're right, the pettiness, and I think that's a core component of this energy is some aspect of pettiness. And I think the pettiness of being like, yeah, I'm gonna die, but also you're going to be so much more dead, and somehow it always ends up coming back again and again. It's a solid one. That is a solid one. All right, so I'm gonna get to my first pick, or my pick in the third. Oh yeah.
Last thing, Hidetsugu was going to be my next choice. The OG one. So I'm going to remove that one since he's technically part of Ken's draft, Trader.
I was actually very eager to see if we had any crossover. I didn't think we would have much, but it's good to see. That's how you know that character as a whole.
Yeah, this is Heartless Hidetsugu for 3 and 2 red. Tap it. He deals damage to each player equal to half their player's life total, rounded down. Even yourself. So,
can't wait. If you give him infect, he can just kill the whole board.
Yes.
He is. I think the leading cause of simul deaths in Commander of just everybody's dead. The leading cause of draws that you'll see.
Fiery Emancipation, Hidetsugu.
Oh gosh. Okay. So getting Fiery Emancipation, any damage doubler. There's so many things that just wonderful way to end the game and have nobody leaving satisfied, which again fits what we're looking for. All right, so for my pick in the third round, again, I get back-to-back picks here. I am very excited that this card is still here. I'm going to go old school for both of my picks now. I picked a couple newer cards. Everybody knows about those. Everybody hears about those. But I think the old school commander that best fits this for me is going to be Rafiq of the Many. And if y'all haven't played against Rafiq, because it's been a minute, I think, since I've seen a Rafiq deck. I'm trying to think of the last time I actually saw a Rafiq in the wild, and it's been many a year. But if you aren't familiar with Rafiq, really simple text. 1 in Bant for a 3/3. It's got Exalted, so whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +1/+1. And whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike. This is one of those where Rafiq comes out, you kind of see what's happening, you're kind of aware, and the first thing that comes out after it is just going to be like a dump truck to the face. Like you think like, oh, I can survive. Oh, there's a Skittles with haste, double strike, 10 infect. You just died. There's a Putrefax with haste and double strike. You're also dead. I think a lot of infect ways to do this. But there's also non-infect ways. It's basically anything you get out. Someone's getting both front-handed and backhanded at the same time in the same turn. And there's something about Rafiq creatures attacking alone. So he's like, I could even send more at you. There could be a whole army of things, but just this one thing is going to slow walk up to you, front hand, backhand you, and that's it. I don't even need to send the army. And to me, when I was like putting my list together, it's not the OG, because the OG's my next pick, but I feel like for the era of when Commander first started kind of like hitting the ground running, Rafiq represented this energy more than anything else for me. And I kind of want to see a Rafiq deck. Maybe I'll build one. I haven't seen it in way too long. All right, so got my back-to-back picks here. So my final pick in the draft, my fourth round pick. This might be stealing one from Sed based on pre-draft conversations, but I've waited long enough. We got to go with the OG. We got to go with OG Nicol Bolas, because OG Nicol Bolas coming in. If anybody, I feel like people probably know OG Nicol Bolas, but if you aren't aware, he's one of the Nicol Bolas from Legends, just one of the original Elder Dragons, the reason Commander exists. It's a whole lot of mana. It's 8 mana, so it's 2 double Grixis for a 7/7 Elder Dragon with flying. It had that weird Elder Dragon text, beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice it unless you pay blue, black, and red, and then whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent, that player discards their hand. To me, I think on so many levels, Nicol Bolas represents this energy, because one, you got to pay every upkeep. You need to pay your tribute, or else it's just gone. It's going to like basically, it's just going to dip, okay? It doesn't do anything unless it's being paid. It cares not what you think of it. But also, just it doesn't matter how much it hits you by. If it just hits you at all, you basically go crazy. I think the equivalent of discarding your hand is essentially you lose your mind in Magic. Like, you're completely, like, you've gone insane. And all it takes is a flick. Like, he's so scary and so menacing that a flick to the nose by Nicol Bolas causes you to go completely insane. And I just feel like that there's nothing better that can embody that. And really, what's more menacing than Nicol Bolas? Like, the Magic villain, I think, at this point in Magic history. So very happy I was able to get that with my last pick, and potentially steal it from Zet. All right, we're gonna, yeah.
Oh, I've been very disappointed with Nicol Bolas. Like, every time I get him on the battlefield, he just, just there.
You know what? I hear that. So I need to slot it into my Cedrus deck so I can hit you with it so you can see. Yeah, I think you need the experience firsthand of getting hit by a Nicol Bolas to judge it properly. And I am here for you as a friend. So
I love that you say that, because every time, oh my God, you have so much graveyard hate. Why do you have so much graveyard hate? Yeah, talk all that. Yeah, you want to talk big in front of the camera, but every time I play my deck, you want to sit there and cry. Why do you always exile my graveyard?
It's like listening to a recording of myself. I thought I was talking for a second. I had to check my headphones. The voice was just so.
Every time I wipe, my finger pokes through the paper. It's like, oh no, get stronger toilet paper. I don't know what to tell you, homie.
Who has that problem? If you are a grown adult in this world buying single ply toilet paper, I can't help you. I think
First of all, we have grown people who just get up off the bowl. Okay,
don't even.
Let's talk about.
Don't even. No. I refuse to believe that people no wipe. I've heard this theory.
Booty hole itching.
There's
just
no way.
Get up.
There's no way.
And then we'll go to the company potluck and put their hand right in the chip bowl.
Well, I know people don't wash. Like, that's a whole. But, like, we already talked about flushing etiquette and that you better close that damn toilet seat before you flush or you are just eating bacteria. But I thought, and I know there's a lot of people that don't wipe properly, all that type of stuff. Look, you can't be perfect. But the fact that somebody, there's rumors, and I think it's someone that's just bullshitting you, because there's no way someone has done their business. Like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm just going to walk away. Like, how does that even register in your head as a possibility of, like...
I have been places, and I'm not going to call any names, conventions, magic conventions, anime conventions. I've been places, and I have literally seen people go in the stalls, heard them call for God as they squeeze out the essence of life, and then literally flush the toilet and get up. And I'm sitting there like, look, that was at least a 5 wiper. By any definition right there. As a matter of fact, I knew one time in particular there was no toilet paper in the bathroom, because I always do like a spot check before I go to the bathroom. And I looked in one stall and I know it had no toilet paper. And this dude came in there, stripped down to his skivvies, and then sat there and unloaded all his hopes and dreams. And then just got up and walked out. And I was sitting there like, that was the devil. That was the goddamn devil that I just saw. Because
I lose more and more hope in humanity every day. Yeah, I mean, my initial PSA was just don't buy single ply. If I go to somebody's house and they got single ply, I'm going to judge them. I get it. Times are tough. Random. I remember COVID. There was no toilet paper anywhere. People went crazy and for some reason bought exclusively toilet paper. I will never understand that. But for whatever the reason, like, I judge you if I go to your house and there's single ply there, because you might as well just, at that point, just buy some sandpaper. I don't know, get some like of that barbed wire they use at the top of like fences and stuff. Like, you're gonna have the same effect.
Get your Brillo pad. But people don't realize this because COVID was such a big thing. But pink eye was the biggest threat out there because it was going rampant because people weren't washing their hands.
I again lose so much hope in humanity. I'm going to pass it to you. I was going to say I need a Nicol Bolas to attack me so I can discard my hand and forget everything I just learned.
I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you do that with my pick.
All right, your fourth, your fourth and final official pick, 'cause we might do a bonus round in the BAFT draft. What is it?
My final pick is Ulamog.
Which one?
Yes.
I was afraid that was going to be the answer. Valid. Explain.
So, more particularly, the one that goes bump in the night, Ulamog the Defiler. I mean, it's even in his name. He you can tell that a tentacle is going towards an orifice. Which one? We don't know. Dealer's choice at that point. But when I read this card, I threw a fit. This was approaching Yu-Gi-Oh level of dangerous. And at one point, I was like, no, I refuse. Like, I put my magic deck in my drawer and locked it. I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And then I actually opened one. And then I felt the temptation. You know what? I understand when people say they were tempted by the devil now. Because the literal devil showed up with a hot pocket. And it was a vegan one, too. So I knew it was the devil. And he was like, yo, don't you want to play this? And guess what? You can also make it so the legend rule doesn't matter. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Let me slot that in. But then, yeah, Ulamog the Defiler. When you cast this spell, target opponent exiles half their library, rounded up. The ward is Annihilator 2. Let me tell you that again. The ward is Annihilator 2. Fork, balls, eat it. And then after that, you put counters on it, and then it does other stuff that gives it more Annihilator. Like, no. If somebody plays this card, you owe me 2 minutes outside.
The first time someone swings at me with this, because I have not been hit with this yet, that will be my villain origin story. Because this thing is going to be like, you exile my library, I'm already annoyed, but it's whatever. If I have to remove it with Ward 2, but the fact that most times when this swings, it's going to be Annihilator like 8. So it's essentially just attack target player, they lose the game. And for it to hit and then choose me and basically say, oh, you just lose, but you also don't technically lose, you have to choose to lose. That is the thing that gets me the most with this card, and why I think it's a great pick for you, is because, like, honestly, if it said attack target player loses the game, I would be less bothered than telling me sacrifice 10 permanents. Oh, and then you can technically still play if you want. Look, you have 2 lands in one card. Look, have fun. Like, it is taunting. This will be the first time that you can actually put fuck you on the stack. And on top of that, it gets even worse. It gets way worse. I've seen people put this in green decks so they can play Hardened Scales, so they can play Forgotten Ancient and move it over so that they can do all this other stuff. So I believe the interaction with, there's certain effects, and Unearth might work this way too, but there's certain effects that affect, like when it's in your graveyard, where it's like in exile while it's being brought back onto the battlefield, so it like sees itself in exile. I forgot the exact synergy, but there's basically ways to guarantee you like its mana value in +1 counters when you get it into play, immediate death of a player. There are certain synergies with it that are just completely busted, and yeah, it's the most insulting way to take someone out, because it's almost like the Torment of Hailfire effect, where you think you have a choice, you think you have a chance, but you don't. But to make it worse, it's only you. And by the time it gets around, you know someone's going to remove it. So then you're stuck watching. Yeah, fuck all that. I don't like any of that. Well, you got 2 choices, really. You have a choice, but it's 2 choices. You have Coke with piss in it and Coke with shit in it. I mean, you still going to drink that Coke. You are just a poet. You're on your, yeah, it's, you're going to make me cry. It's just so many beautiful words coming out in one sitting. All right. Speaking of coming out in one sitting, I once ate at this sketchy Mexican restaurant yesterday, and it was. We'll talk about that later. Didn't know what direction that was going. Said, throwing it to you for the final official pick in the draft. This is your final pick. How are you going to close it out?
This was a tough one because I had a number of tough contenders that really wanted to throw down, and I think I'm gonna have to go with the one that scares me the most. I'm picking Zacama Primal Calamity, still in Ken's Commander. This is for 6 and Naya. Elder Dinosaur 9/9, Vigilance, Reach, Trample. First of all, it doesn't need all 3 of those. That's a lot. The Reach is unnecessary. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, untap all lands you control. And it has 3 activated abilities where you can throw 3 damage at a creature. by paying 3, destroy a target artifact or an enchantment by paying 3, or you can just gain 3 life by paying 3. So this is a Swiss Army knife of I'm going to ruin your day.
It doesn't. The thing that kills me about it is because it hits both artifacts, enchantments, and creatures. It literally just says anything you're doing, not anymore. Because it's not even like it's like specific. If it like gained you life, made a token, and blew up a creature, it's like, well, my artifacts, enchantments are safe. Or if it just hit artifacts, enchantments,
So it's like you got a creature, no, you don't. You got an artifact, you got an enchantment, no, you don't. I'm losing, no, I'm not.
It's as a person who plays this card, I can tell you what it personally feels like. It feels amazing. It's like closing the elevator on a person who's trying to rush towards it. It feels amazing to do this.
To show how busted this card is, I have attended and played in maybe like 9 or 10 pre-releases over my Magic career. I typically go like 1-3 or 0-4. I'm terrible at pre-releases. I opened a Zacama in my pre-release pool for Rivals. I went undefeated and won the pre-release. It's the only time I've ever won more than one game at a pre-release before, and it won me everything. I went undefeated. I was like, yeah, this card is a problem, because if it can make me win a pre-release, that card should not have been printed at all.
You went from a third-rate duelist to to a winner.
and Derek fails paper scissors rock against himself.
I am notoriously awful at flag football. I've lost, I think, 7 straight rock paper scissors games to start games. So
it's amazing how often you get hurt playing this game.
Old. I'm an old man. I literally, I have plantar fasciitis. I have nerve damage in my leg. I can't feel my right pinky. It's just a great time. But that is a topic for another day. So that wraps up our main draft pick. Let's do a quick recap for all of us of our 4 picks real quick, because I do want in the comments below, if you're still watching, make sure to let us know who you think won the Black Air Force Energy draft, whose team has this energy strongest, because there has to be. This is clearly incredibly objective, and there has to be a defined winner. So Sed, who is your squad of 4?
So my first pick was Saskia the Unyielding. Then I had Horobi, where if you get touched, you die. Then I chose. I'm forgetting myself. I already closed out the window. My goodness.
Oh no.
I'm blanking on it. I'm old.
Edgar Markov. So you went.
Yeah. Let me start over.
Yeah. All right. So I'll just kick it back to you. So, all right. So that's going to wrap up the rounds of the draft. We need y'all's opinion, because obviously this is a super objective winner-loser thing, and somebody was objectively better than the rest. So we're going to do a quick rundown of our draft. You got to let us know in the comments who drafted the best squad of Black Air Force Energy. Said, who's your 4 that you got?
All right, I think this is the surefire winner here. This is Saskia the Unyielding, the captain of this team, followed by Horobi, Death's Wail, also leading up by Edgar Markov, also rounded out by Zacama, Primal Calamity. So this is a team of heavy hitters, and they want to hit hard. So
that is a terrifying death squad of problems. I can't. Who do you got as your 4?
I got Ulamog the Fingerer. I got Hiden and Kakuzu. I got the Pervert and Butt Smasher the Fierce.
I said it translates. We got Vial Smasher, Leonardo da Vinci, Ulamog the Defiler, and I don't even remember who. Oh, the Hidetsugu and somebody, the combo team of.
Ain't that what I just said?
More or less. Okay, so I just needed to translate it for everybody that didn't speak Italian, so I could go on there and get it, because you were speaking so eloquently in your language of love. So let's now, for my team, I had Tergrid, God of Fright, Voja, Friend of Wolves and Elves and Asshole to All Else, Rafiq of the Many, and Nicol Bolas. Got some OGs in there. So, yeah, let us know who you think best incorporates this energy, whose team is going to win. I think this is a toss-up. I was expecting to feel very confident in my team coming out of this. I was expecting to be able to make fun of one of y'all for your poor picks, but no, this is a close race. I think all of these teams, you know what, the real exercise for this is, I think if you play any of these commanders against us, we have full reason to either immediately table flip or Ulamog the Defiler you as the player. You have earned it if you've played one of these, because who hurt you? If you're playing one of these, who did this to you? We need to know your origin story.
It's not that nobody hurt me. It's that I just want to hurt you. And the thing is, in the comments in the bottom, tell us who made the best pick. You got, as a matter of fact, just go ahead and put that they failed. They failed this city.
And if you need any of these problematic cards, obviously hit up our affiliate link, TCG Player. If you're going to play cards like this and people are going to give you dirty looks, at least look good while you're being the asshole and rock you some into the AM, do all that good stuff. And when they tell you to leave because you're being that player, make sure you have your heavy play playmat with all the magnets and everything so you can pick it up and move real easy and get it to another table, at which point you'll then be asked to move again. You're going to be moving a lot of tables if you play these cards. So this is the perfect way to do it.
That's right. When the villagers light their pitchforks and start chasing you with their torches, you can easily pick it up with your heavy play playmat and run for the hills. And also, of course, look fresh, play fresh. In space, they can't hear you scream, but after that Thanksgiving dinner, they will in that bathroom.
Said any closing thoughts?
Nah, that's pretty much it. We're getting close to the end of the year. I think this is Turkey Day week, but this will be out probably a little bit after that. So just make sure everybody had a safe and restful Thanksgiving holiday time if you're in the U.S. And don't forget that we will be at MC Chicago, I believe, so in February.
and if you're not in the U.S., of course, go ahead and I don't care. Forget you. We still gonna eat turkey while you sit there and eat potted meat or whatever y'all eat over there, and blood sausage and soup.
Shout out to Vince. Okay, so we'll catch y'all later. Stay petty.
With salt on it.
Yo, I have blood sausage. It's fucking disgusting.
It's blood encasing. What the hell did you think it was gonna be?